Yeah, welcome to a reaction video here. I'm reacting to a video from Logical Dating 101, and I'm gonna give my opinion about outcuts of this. I'm gonna try and watch as little of it as possible, but I want to give my reaction to it at the very most. I want to look at it and say, hey, what's up with this? And I'm gonna give my opinion, like my unfiltered opinion here, because there are some things here where you feel like, yeah, some things needs to be said about this. It's a sad world we live in right now. So uh, if you're new to the channel, I suspect that you should come back, check out some other stuff. I don't always do this kind of stuff. It's more like a kind of a reaction video here, but I do gaming and other stuff. So basically it is what it is, man. It's like a disclaimer: I do not own this content. I'm just merely reacting to it, and it's a reaction video for the first place. Um, so what it's all about here is it's more about what the modern woman sees as reasonable today and what is reasonable. It's I'm gonna give my unbiased opinion about that. I know you guys on the internet probably have your own opinion, and it's fine. Like, we are entitled to our own opinions, but I think that in general these new modern females are they're very misguided, and they expect certain things, they're looking for certain things. They're filtering, they're putting on filters for what they need in a man, and it just is, it just is like a different world we live in today. So they expect traditional men and all that kind of stuff. And let's get into the video. I'm gonna skip the parts where Logical Dating is reacting himself.
So I'm having to lift these couches by myself because there's no one here to help me. Um,
Yeah,
5.
you see there's nobody there.
And then I came to Walmart, and Walmart said they have
Oh,
black
you're at
men.
Walmart.
My question is, where are the black men in America?
They're everywhere.
6. So where are the black men here in America?
Everywhere.
It's so sad that female now has to do everything for
Mm.
themselves. Yeah, there are some of us who need the black man to help us out with stuff. But the black men here now, the standards of the men are so low, and I think most of our men have lost their standards.
So she basically needs somebody to carry her groceries, and she thinks that she's entitled to a black man that swoops in with a cape on and picks up the bag for her, and then basically does the chore that she's doing currently. That's what she expects. She expects a gentlemanly black man to come by. And first of all, I think maybe some black men are like that. Some black men were raised uh, they were raised as a proper gentleman. They were raised to be helpful, and but really need to they don't really need to actually do your tasks. Nobody, you were not born in life with a servant. Um, and strangely enough, here we have a black woman that wants a servant. Basically, I'm gonna say the S word. She wants a muscle slave for her to just basically do her work. And it's that's, you're not entitled to anybody's help. The world is a cruel place. Men used to help women, but that's when we knew that it was a gentlemanly thing to do. But women do not treat us as gentlemen, so we stopped being gentlemen. And it's not that we stopped being gentlemen entirely, because I would still help if somebody asked me politely. If I walk by, I'm not a black guy, but if I walk by and I saw a woman with this bag here, holding the bag, and she's struggling, and she's like, "Oh, I can't do it. Wow, this is so hard." And then she looked over at me and said, like, could you help me? Please, sir, could you help me? If she said those words to me, I would probably help her, right? But if I walked by her and she just looked at me angry with an attitude and said, like, okay, yeah, you need to do this, like, come over here and carry my bags, I'd be like, hell no, bro. Like, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? Like, you're rude. Like, you're literally just trying to be rude and trying to appropriate like some kind of like slave for your work, and that's a low bar, man. That's a low bar.
Who they are when it comes to helping our females. It's sad, very sad.
I'm just wondering, where are the men that just want one woman?
Everywhere, like everywhere. Where are the men that wants one woman? Most guys want one woman. Like the guys that cheat, we're talking a different story here, but the guys that cheat, they're a different bunch. You know what I mean? They're just everywhere, and they're a problem, right? Because they're just, they're cheaters and whatever. But like most men in general want one woman. That's it. They want one woman. That's usually what would suffice to keep them happy. But like some men want to have like like a threesome or whatever. But that's different. That's a sexual thing. Like in general, most men just want like one woman. That's it.
Like, they're not on the dating apps.
No, no, they're not on the dating apps. Guess what? Because the dating apps suck. And what you get are women like you on the dating apps. Like it's gonna be not there, you know. And I'm gonna say men are in other places where you can easily access them, because it's up to you. You have to be worthy of them.
Like the men that just want like one woman, like
Every man ever, pretty much.
forever, is
Maybe not forever. I mean, forever is a long time. It's if you're an insufferable woman, I don't think forever is on the table. Some men will seek other entertainment.
I genuinely don't understand where the tall people at. Where are tall men?
Now, I am assuming this woman is really, really tall, and that's it's kind of like unfortunate that that's the case. She's kind of like really tall. Like you can see she's sitting in the car here, and she's probably like, I don't know, maybe she's 6'2". I don't know, possibly, but a very tall woman.
Anywhere I go, I can see above the crowd. That's not normal. It's like
And that's because you're very tall, girl. You're probably very tall.
Snow White and dwarfs, full capacity. And all of them are so sus too. Like,
Snow White and dwarfs both are equally attractive. Like, you shouldn't put off a little dwarf, you know. You don't know what he could do with those like little stubby fingers, man.
there's no like testosterone coming through your shirt. You just there like, let's go do blow in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, if that's the crowd you're in, if that's the crowd you're in, I suggest finding a better crowd. If they're doing drugs, get out of there.
In your hand like pineapple strawberry vodka soda. That's the reason I stopped going out, and this is a reminder for me today that I should have stayed home.
Maybe you shouldn't have stayed home. But I think it depends on where you're going. If you're going to the worst possible places, it is going to be uh, a problem to find a good person there, because like you're going to rave parties, you're going to I don't know, like just places where you're not gonna find an actual distinguished person. Like if you're looking for gems and trash, you're very unlikely to find a gem there.
Can someone please explain to me where the men are?
Everywhere.
Because on these dating apps, swear to God,
Dating apps. There you go. Dating apps. Problem. Let's skip. Pretty much.
they're just women. The men are women.
No. no, the men are men, but your opinion about what a man is different from what you expect. Like you have expectations, and those expectations doesn't meet your like personal, like perfect image of society. So therefore, like you say, the men are women. They are all like feminized, but it's not. That's not the case. It's just that you are again seeking men in on a dating app, and you're or seeking men in a place where there's very few potential good mates. You know, you're seeking them in the wrong places. But then you're gonna ask, where are the right places? That's like giving you access to harassing men that just want to be left alone, basically, or men that are enjoying like being single, or men that just, in general, just want to be a part of the world, but not like engaging with you.
They're so sensitive about everything you say, and they literally are so up themselves that they think you're like so into them.
So is he saying like they're all sensitive? What are you saying to them? Like maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the one that's causing a rift here. If you're talking shit to them, like maybe you shouldn't.
When you're just having a conversation, what is your problem?
Yeah, see, we don't see the conversation. What is your problem? What is your conversation? What are you saying? Because if what you're saying is just off the cuff, if what you're saying is absolute nonsense, then what you're gonna see is just, you're not gonna get anything good out of that. If you start by antagonizing the people that you want to date, then you're not gonna get on their good side.
Like, I think you need to get over yourselves, darlings. I really do. You're driving me lesbo.
See, she's like already like pulling the L card here. She's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to the other side. Well, unfortunately, the news for you is that like lesbians' relationships are so complex and difficult to even get going that like because you're basically adding double fuel to the fire. Like if a relationship is a bonfire, then both of you are cans of gasoline, and then you just jump into the fire, both of you, and it fucking explodes. It's like you need the counter to your madness. You need kind of like a balance to your yang to your yin. You need a balance, and if both of you are gasoline, well, you're gonna fucking burn that fire real quick, and it's not gonna the relationship's gonna burn out immediately. And that's why you see so many like relationships not working, because they don't have balance.
Like, if there's any girls out there, DM me, because I swear to God, these men / women are driving me mental.
So she's blaming everybody else except for her. She has no blame in this, obviously. So there's no accountability here.
I feel like I can't even have a conversation with them anymore. Like, literally, they just... You either get the ones that always want to talk about, you know what, it's all they want to talk about. Or you get ones that give you dead conversation, never speak. Then you get ones that reply to you hours and hours later. Then you get the ones that don't reply at all. Then you get the ones that just block and ghost you for no reason.
Block and ghost you for no reason. I feel like there was a reason, and she just is not telling us the reason. Like why would you block and ghost a person unless you really know that there's a problem here?
Actual serious people, like the serious men that actually want to try.
Want to try, that's a very loaded term. Want to try. So we should want to try being in a relationship with her, even though the relationship is a toxic one. And she wants men to try to deal with her bullshit, but she doesn't want to understand and like internalize that she might be the problem. Like she just wants men to try to be with her, even though she could potentially be the most crazy like person ever. Like it's like you're just saying I should want to stab. You're basically saying I should want to stab myself in the leg repeatedly over and over just to be with you.
and actually make an effort and actually care. Do you know what I mean? Where are those men? It's just a bit old, isn't it?
Those men don't exist because we don't put up with just nonsense.
And there's people like me that actually take this seriously. They just don't try.
They all
stay
take it
on
seriously.
you.
The chads, they don't take this seriously. The jockeys, whatever, the people that basically they're just there for sex and that's it. They just want sex. They move on to another woman every weekend. Those people do not take anything seriously, and that's really what you got here. Like that's what she's talking about. She's on dating apps. She's gonna get the P&D, and that's it.
To make all the effort. They don't want to make the effort anymore. They want the women to make the effort now. Well, I'm not making the effort anymore. I feel like that's all I ever do is make the effort. How about you be a man and make effort?
How about you do the thing that I don't want to do? You should do the thing that I don't want to do, is essentially what she's saying. Like, I don't want to do it, so you should do it. It's like, it's such a childish thing. It's like, yeah, I don't want to put in any effort whatsoever. I just want to, like, glide through life like some balloon that never gets touched in any way. Like, you never see any rough sides of life. You just want to glide through life gracefully with no problems. I'm afraid that's not how the world works.
Having conversations with men should make you feel happy and
No, no. Depends on the conversation you're having. If you're having a really shitty conversation that is only one-sided and is just meant to agitate the person that you're talking to, then basically what you're going to get is not a happy conversation because you're not choosing a topic that you both are happy to talk about. Or if your opinions are so strong that you can't like see the other person's side and you get upset when you don't get your will, then yes, you're not going to have a happy conversation with a guy. If you immediately strike up a conversation that is just so one-sided that it's just he just wants to leave, then you're not going to get a happy conversation.
like not make you feel about yourself. But all they do is just make me feel like myself. I just don't know what's happening.
So what she's describing is probably like the negging aspects that some people apply. Like it's kind of like a dating tactic, putting people down so they can feel like they need to like basically stay with this person because they're not worth anything. And so they're like negging. They're using the negging tactic like a dating tactic. And it usually probably is in like something like a web app like that, like a fucking dating app, where like they would apply things like that, fucking shitty tactics to try and get in with her. Like she's not exactly unattractive. She's not exactly like, the most attractive woman. And I think maybe he's stuck in that environment where it's just like she's gonna get hit on by a lot of people that's just wanting to have a little bit of fun, and then they use the negging tactic on her.
You're not better, and we don't love you after 5 minutes of the conversation.
But if you're on a dating app, they are not necessarily there for love. Sometimes they're there for fun.
Actually, it's so dumb.
So, I have a lot of single friends, and one of the things I often hear is like, there's no men out there, there's no men out there. But statistics says there's a lot of men out there.
Statistics, how about like 3 billion of them?
Question, where are all the men, and why aren't they with the ladies? Questions I need answers for.
You're not going to get an answer for that. And the only answer there possibly could be is if the men are already taken, then it's hard for you to take those men because they are already taken, obviously. I mean, it's just reasonable that if that's not to say like it's nonsense to assume that there are no good men left. That's what they're saying recently, and it's like this train of thought is insane.
Can absolutely not be the only woman looking for them a good man. right? I'm over 40.
Oh, you're all doing it, but you're 40, and that's why you're not finding any.
I have my own house, have my own car, got my together.
See, you got your house and you got your money, but none of that appeals to a man. Like, we don't care. We don't care about that. Like, let's be real. Like, if you think the fact that you have a house and a car is the attraction here, it's not. That's, you know who that appeals to? Somebody that's homeless. That appeals to a homeless person. Not, it doesn't appeal to a good man. Like, you have money, you have a car, so therefore, like, you know, you're basically looking for a person that's willing to have a sugar mama. That's basically it, right? You know, that's it. Because otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense.
Like, I'm looking for something real, right? I've been lied to, cheated on, treated like a second option, whatever, right?
Yeah, it happens.
I get hit on all the time. I'm on all the apps. Nothing pans out. It ain't worth my time.
The apps aren't worth your
But
time.
scrolling TikTok, I see you fine ass creatures that look like
Scrolling TikTok, she sees men that do TikTok things to earn money. And these are TikTok men with TikTok faces and TikTok lives. They are not your average man. Like, if you're looking for the top 10 looking people on the planet, I have news for you. There's not that many of them. And usually they have a woman already, because you are going to be flat out of luck. If you're looking for those people, you should not be 40. You should be 26 or 21. You should not be this, which is a woman in her 40s that is basically hitting the wall, right? And they just don't understand this concept. They think that, like, because they're still somewhat attractive, but they're not that attractive in terms of, like, a man that's searching for, like, the prize wife. He's not searching for a 40-year-old. He's searching for something younger than him. Maybe he could be like 56 and still look good, but, like, he's still gonna look for something that's younger. Like, and like a 40-year-old, depending on, like, if she has kids or not, like, you know, it's not what he's looking for.
like you have been created in heaven and you're waiting to be released. I don't know where you're at. I don't know where the you're hiding.
He's not hiding. He's already sitting with his wife in a house with millions that he made on TikTok, probably.
But you need to bring your ass up out of the bunker
I mean, if you can make millions on TikTok.
that you are in with the rest of the fine ass cowboys. And you need to bring it on over to my front door. Thank you.
That's not happening. Like, nobody's gonna walk over like that. Like, apparently she did find someone, but, like, this guy is definitely older than her. And he's not, like, you know, just look at this. This is not what you're gonna see here. That's not an ideal, like, match for her. He's definitely older. I mean, she's 40 and he looks like he's, like, 50, 60. I don't know. I don't think this really is a good example of what she was looking for, but maybe she likes an older man, but she's definitely dating an older man now, because if she said she was 40, that's pretty much it, right? So, let's see. The way I feel after telling another dude on Hinge I'm out here to chat forever that it's okay to ask me on a date. Where are the men? Come on, boys, where are the men? So she asked the boys, where are the men? The boys won't know because they're not men, you know. But yeah, it's you're on Hinge, whatever. And it's okay to ask me on a date, sure. So, like,
don't want to be protectors, that don't want to be givers. Like, my father was a giver, my father was a protector, my father paid all the bills. Like, my mother didn't have to pay nothing, and that's what I come from. Not saying in 2000.
here's the thing. it's that she didn't have to pay nothing because she couldn't pay nothing. She didn't have the money. He had the money, clearly. So he was providing. That's what providing is called. But like, you can only provide if you have a substantial income. And then this is like, there again, we go back to the whole brokies, dusties bullshit that they keep spouting, which is like, yeah, men can't earn the same amount of money because unless they're like famous, unless they are CEOs, they're not earning the same salaries that they men did like 50 years ago. You know, they're not getting the same deal. You're talking about a deal that doesn't exist anymore. Like, that deal was one woman, one man. Man probably provides, and then like two kids, a dog, a house, picket fence, white house, white paint on the house. You know what I mean? That a car, a fucking Subaru on the outside or whatever. It's that dream is funny to me right now because like most men can't even afford a house. Like, we can't afford a house by ourselves. Like, basically, like, most men can't. The ones that can are like very well off. And that's the thing, is she's just saying like, oh, like, where are the men that did this? Where are the men that could afford all this shit? Well, like, times have changed. You're talking about a different like deal here. The deal is, you bring half, I bring half. We can buy the house together, and then we can make a family. But we have to do it together, which is a different story. That's why you don't see provider men that much anymore, because they can't provide. Like, it's impossible to provide for this kind of bullshit, especially when you have a partner here that is clearly like needing, like, she wants the money, right? Like, she's even doing the hand signs for this. Where are the money, not the men? Like, she wants a provider male, and that's the thing is, she is just not realizing that there are substantial cuts to men's salaries, and we are not, and what we have to pay for food, what we have to pay for electricity, for a house has changed. Most men can't afford a freaking house.
2025 is like that right now, but damn, these don't want to do. These are the new, okay, in 2025. Men are the noob in 2025. Period. Point blank. They want to live for free. They want to free. They want to.
What Nobody wants to live for free unless they have like some kind of weird sugar mama deal. Like, most men are okay with earning a wage salary and then just having a house or whatever, a dog. That's it. That's what they can afford. Maybe, like, at most. But that's if they're lucky. Like, they have to have a job that supplies that kind of financials. Should they also pay for your ass? Like, that's what you're asking. You're asking them to basically take in another mouth when they can only afford two, maybe one. And that's what you're saying. You're saying they should be okay with just spending their money on you just because you will it, just because you desire it so. But the world has changed. Like, you need to be a partner to your person that you want to build a life with. That's it. There are new standards for you. You can't just be like, I mean, you have to find a CEO or someone with substantial money that is willing to just have basically a homeless person in their life, because that's what a woman would be equated to. She's basically has no money. She wants riches. She wants purses. She wants dresses, but she doesn't have a job, and she doesn't want a job. She just wants to laze about. That's not how anything works anymore. I'm sorry, and it didn't even work like that for my parents. Like, my parents literally both had jobs, both of them. My mother was a bank woman, and she did her stuff. She was an account manager. Like, she did stuff like that. My dad did sales. He was a key account manager. Like, he did sales for all kinds of goods. And like, these two raised me together in a house that is what you call middle class. We were not rich, but they both had jobs. And it's like, how do you expect to build a family if you just want one of the sides to be the provider today? It is impossible unless you find a CEO or whatever equivalent to 600,000 a year or whatever.
Do everything for free.
And they expect the women to do everything.
No, we expect you to do your part. Your part. The part that is yours.
Like everything, y'all.
Is it honestly too much to ask for to find someone who is attentive to somebody else's feelings, is emotionally intelligent, understands how to lead, understands that a provider
Understands how to lead. So you want him to basically run your life.
doesn't just mean financially providing for somebody else.
Financially providing for somebody else. There we go. This is like a charity case again.
Recognizes that another human being actually has characteristics and traits that they need to value just as much as they need to value their own characteristics and values and traits. Is it too hard to ask for somebody who can be very, very pleasant and professional in public and also down and dirty and raunchy in the bedroom?
See, so you want a person that does two different things. You want a person that's super, like, composed, super, like, professional, very polite, and then you expect him to be some kind of, like, wild savage in the bedroom. That usually doesn't go together, because, like, people aren't really necessarily like that. They aren't, like, all people are not, like, split personalities or like freaking like, you know, and one of the things is I feel like it's the intimacy in the bedroom part is like it's hard for a man to understand like what is okay in the bedroom. Like, for example, it is actually difficult because we don't know exactly what you want and you won't tell us. So like you're saying things here, but like if unless somebody specifically listened to what you said here and they were like, oh, that's what she wants, right? You don't communicate that directly to the man that you're in a relationship with, because while women think like they're great communicators, they're actually terrible communicators. Because a man wants like information, he wants communication, and if you say to him, oh, I want you to be a better, like if you say I want you to be a better lover, like what does that exactly mean? That doesn't mean anything. Like that's just a statement. Like that's a statement without any like informational parts to it. So if you say I want you to be like assertive in bed, like okay, maybe he will understand that a little bit better. But if you say specifically, I would love to have my cheeks clapped, you know, that's something you'll understand. You know, it's like I want you to slap my cheeks, right, or something like that. I want you to fucking pull my hair. That is communication, right? And then again, like there's a certain amount where like maybe you don't want that every time, right? So he's like, but if you say that to him, he's gonna be like, oh, I think he wants this every time. But it's like it's the dialogue. You need dialogue in there. Like you are terrible communicators usually, and you just expect a man to do the thing that you want them to do because you think you've told them, or you think they should understand like what you want. But we are not mind readers, and you expect us to be. And that's a huge problem.
Like, seriously, why is this so challenging to find guys like that? And I know I'm not the only woman who is in this predicament. And all the guys who sit there and are like, you have too high of standards. No, but these standards are for myself. If I can attain these standards...
Just because you have standards for yourself doesn't mean that you should expect people to accept these standards for them. Like, that doesn't really work that way. You can't force standards on people. You can, like, look for people with the same standards, but you can't, expect standards for a person that you haven't met or you haven't met yet. Like, and just say these standards, he must fit into these standards, into this box.
For myself, why is it so hard to find it in a man who's supposed to be bigger and better than women? I just don't get it.
Bigger and better. That's a loaded thing. She's like, oh yeah, they're so cool, so good, so fucking sick. They should know and do these things. It's not about that. It's about like you expect something that they are not maybe understanding that you want them to provide. So when they don't provide it, you get mad. But if you don't tell them, then how are they going to be able to understand that they need to provide it? It's like you are expecting them to read your mind, you know.
So it isn't about where do I go to find these men? Because I get that question a lot. Where are these men? Where do I go to find
Where
these
are
men?
men? Where are men? You ask yourself that question. If you look around, there are men everywhere. There's 3 billion of them. Like if you're not looking at them, you are not seeing them, then what you're doing is you're actively putting blinders on yourself.
And I say, you don't have to go to any specific place. Yeah, you need to leave your home.
Yeah, you do.
Probably, but you don't have to go to any specific place. What you need to do is you need to go to a different place vibrationally.
Vibrationally, I think we're talking crazy now.
Okay? Because if you're going to meet your future man, he's not in your present. You need to go to a different place vibrationally in you. You need to go to a different place of healing within you.
Excuse me? I think I think this woman lost her marbles somewhere. Like she has taken some kind of a hallucinogen.
And it was entitled, "Men, Where Have You Gone? Please Come Back." So it was written by this woman who lives in Chicago, and she was discussing how she goes out around the town at night and will see like a lot of women and groups of women hanging out and having a great time, but she doesn't see men anywhere, making the argument that they're taking a step back from life, they're staying home, they're on their screens, they're not participating in intimacy, and a lot of them, if you do meet with someone or connect with someone, she specifically used dating apps, I think, that a lot of time these men will like kind of orbit. They'll text you a little bit or call you a little bit, but they'll never ever set up a date or anything like that. And they're saying that this is a problem with men. These types of articles frustrate me so much because, and yeah, I've seen some men do this too, but it lacks so much accountability.
Oh yeah. See, this woman actually knows there's no accountability anywhere in this sphere. Like in the female sphere, there's just no accountability. Like none, zero. And some, maybe some, but it's in most of these like these TikTok videos or whatever. Like any of these things, it's always about like what it's all about. It's all about them. It's all about them, right? There's never any accountability. It's like, oh, I've been doing this. I'm doing this perfectly. I can do no wrong. It's like, so what is wrong with the men? It's the men, clearly. The men is the problem.
Like it takes two to make a society work, and it's lacking a lot of accountability on the part of the woman. Number one, I don't think men have gone anywhere. And yes, even still today, if a man really likes you, he's going to do anything and everything he can to see you, probably as quickly as possible, because he doesn't want anyone else to come and snatch you.
Probably as quickly as possible. That's a statement. That's pretty funny. What do you mean? If a guy knows that he could even have a shot at you and he is desperately in love with you, he will do anything if he can. But it's just so hard today. Like, it's just so difficult. It's like, how do you approach someone without getting shut down? How do you, like, shoot your shot without getting fucking absolutely mentally and emotionally destroyed? And then you have to go to work the next day. Like, it is hard, man. Like, or you have to face your friends, family, and just feel this, like, massive fucking wave of just depression and letdown. Like, it's another, like, if you're taking nothing but L's in your life and you're one L away from fucking swimming with the ducks, I can't really say that, like, game ending themselves. Like, if they're that close to, like, the absolute abyss, then taking another L from you is what could cause them to just not be here today. And that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Like that, like basically that it's so dangerous emotionally for a man to just walk up to a woman and then shoot his shot. It's like, it is just, it's frustrating because men want this to work. They want usually a partner. They want usually a wife. And they would love nothing better to have a traditional wife that, like, just takes care of them. And, like, they don't want a mother, but they do want somebody that can housekeep, that can keep the house clean, keep all those things, and like in general, like I can cook. I can actually cook, so I don't even need that in my partners. But basically, like it's just the difference is when you risk everything and you risk nothing. That's the scales of a relationship right now. The balance that's here is you risk nothing, and like you don't have to risk nothing. You don't even have to have emotions involved. You can sit there and be completely separated from the emotional fallout, and a guy has to risk that every time. So that's what you expect, and that's why you can't expect men to fucking just risk everything every time, because taking another L on that particular day could just be so devastating.
If he's not doing that, I would just assume that he's not that into you and worry about something else, do something else. And if this keeps happening to you over and over, again, I wouldn't go so far as to blame all men. That's when I would start to look inward. How can I improve myself? How can I make myself more attractive to men? By the way, I don't mean more attractive to men by looking like
You don't need to be super duper attractive in terms of looks. I mean, you do have to look nice, you do have to look attractive, but you know what's really freaking attractive is like an emotional woman that knows what to do with a man, how to handle a man, how to like reciprocate his feelings and actions. Like someone that can like spar with you and just really dance in the same field. It's like that is what a man wants. Someone that can really do that. Like when he feels like that person completes him in like full on, makes him a better person, then he knows that's the right for him. Like he knows that she is like super duper it, and that doesn't mean that she has to be like a supermodel. That just means that she knows how to communicate with him. She knows how to like on his bad days she picks him up. On his good days she's just there in the back and just chilling. You know, it's a symbiosis of two people, and if it doesn't work, then no amount of like lip balm and like eye gloss and whatever makeup, it's not going to make up for that. You have to be emotionally compatible.
cookie cutter image. I just mean, do I need to work on my personality? Maybe do I need a hobby? Do I need this? Do I need that? There's so many things that you can do also as a woman. And what I see women do is they have all of these demands of men. He's got to be like this. He's got to be like that. But they don't look inward. And I think we hurt each other as women by not being honest with each other and even holding each other accountable. I can't tell you.
Yeah,
Like I
they never hold each other accountable. Never.
might have had a breakup.
I mean, I've seen very few. I mean, see, like there's Lady J and some other people that are like now talking out against it. She One Head. That these people are talking against like this kind of like crazy zeitgeist that we have right now.
Or something happened that was completely my fault, and all my girlfriends would be like, no, you're perfect, don't do anything to it's his problem. We do that to each other all the time, and it lacks serious accountability. And I think that a generation of women, my generation included, we've become a bit harsh. We've become a bit masculine.
A bit harsh and masculine. No, you become full on men, like, and like you're career driven, like, and like you're focusing on all the things, all the wrong things in the first 40 years of your life, and then you get to 40 and you're like, whoops, I can't even have proper healthy babies now, but I still want a man. It's like, no, no, man. Like you're doing things wrong. Like you should be treating the first parts of your life as a limited resource that you need to use, because your looks are there. They're from like 18 to whatever 43, but like the older you get, the least that runs down. That fucking runs down. Like your personality could still be there, right? You could still be attractive personality wise, emotionally wise. But if you want to have a wedding in which you are a beautiful bride, you want beautiful pictures, you want to have a blessed life with a person that you know is right for you, then you should be looking for that person in your like the young stages of your life, not when you turn 40, not when you are 50, not when you're 60. You should be looking for them in that limited 15-year period where basically you are the most attractive hot item on the market, right? That's where you should be looking for your mate. Like basically my parents married at the age of 20 and they were together still like till the very end pretty much. So like the idea that you can just walk into the market at 40 and exclaim, "Here I am, now I want husband," that is ludicrous. Like you're not using your resources well.
And that's off-putting for guys. Even if they can't put their finger on what is it that's off-putting about you, that's what it is. And like every street interview that I see with women like that are out
And I'm not saying you should be rushing. You should be rushing to marry. You should look for the partner instead of being out there partying on boats and shit. You should be looking for the guy that owns the boat. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be there. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say it that way because a lot of those people are probably douchebags. But like, you should definitely look for a partner, for a valid partner, instead of being out there partying, drinking your brain cells away, taking drugs, having unprotected sex with random strangers that could give you whatever random disease like AIDS or something like that. You should be protecting yourself and you should be looking for a partner. But then the problem becomes, well, now that you're 18 to 30 or whatever, and you're looking for a valid partner in the same age range, then maybe a man has not already made his money. Like that's the issue there. Like maybe he has not made enough wealth to even be a sufficient partner to you. But again, then you could help him build that empire. That's the thing. You should be a builder. You shouldn't be a usurper of wealth. Like you should be somebody that wants to build with it, the person that is right for you. So you should not necessarily look for wealth. You should look for someone that's compatible with you.
what do you think about we don't need no man. We don't need a man. Men suck. Men can just leave. So again, I think those men are still out there in great numbers that do want to date and do want to have relationships. But they want to do it with the right person. And if you're not connecting, I would check your environment. I would check maybe the people that you're attracted to. I would also think, how can I improve myself? Not just for a man, but just for life in general. Like, how can I improve myself?
You see, the self-improvement route is kind of a dangerous path because you don't necessarily need to improve yourself. Like, you do need, however, to find someone that suits, that will work with you, that will mesh with you. So if you're thinking about the whole like grind and improvement and career, and then you're gonna end up as a 40-year-old with no husband. Like it's most likely where you're gonna end up. Like you should be focusing on what you want in life as early as possible. Later on, you won't have the resources. Later on, you'll be too old. Later on, you can't pursue those dreams. If you do it early on, you can then have a blessed like old age, basically a retirement age where you just don't have to worry.
We're always telling women and telling each other, "You're beautiful. You're a queen. You're perfect. You can't do. You're a special, perfect flower." And I think that ultimately hurts us because it keeps us stagnant and thinking like, "Oh, we don't have
It's
to."
not that it ultimately does hurt you. It's that it does hurt you. It's like it definitely hurts you because it's just you're saying that no mistakes are yours ever. There's no accountability. There's no learning. Like if you can't learn from a mistake, you are not even a person. Like you don't even know how to do life properly. If you build a birdhouse with elastic bands and you fuck it up and you're like, well, this isn't working, it's falling apart. And then the next day you do the exact same thing. You haven't learned a damn thing. You haven't learned. You haven't understood that there's a problem. you're just gonna repeat the same like stupid behavior. And that's part of life. You need to fuck up, learn from it, move on, redo the thing, and do it better.
Improve ourselves. We don't have to do anything. One of my favorite stories was this woman. I can't remember how she connected with this guy, but I think they had mutual friends. And she met him, and she just immediately was like, "Oh my gosh, I am so attracted to this guy. I really, really want to date him." But at the time, she was just in a bad place in her life. Wasn't feeling good about her appearance, just overall like where she was. So she spent the next year improving herself. And I think she knew she was gonna bump into him again somewhere. But anyway, she spent that next year just improving every aspect of her life, and sort of got himself to the level that she saw him in. Again, I'm not talking about looks. I'm just talking about your overall person, which you should always be wanting to improve anyway. Anyway, she ended up seeing him, and they were together for a really long time, I believe. They might even be married. But the moral of that story is she
Might
knew
even be
in her
married.
head it wasn't
See, that's not really a success story when you don't even know if the relationship is successful. You know, it's really sad that like we are in like this thing where we're saying like, oh, she might have been successful. Like, what do you mean? What kind of a story are you even relaying to us if you don't know if that was a successful approach? So you're just telling us a maybe good story, or maybe potentially good story or success story, but it's not. We don't know the outcome of it, so therefore there's no real thing to learn from it. Like, you need to move on to something where you can see the outcome and you can see why it led to that.
just for him. It was also for her. And at the end of the day, even if he would have met someone else, even if they wouldn't have connected, it was still a total win for her because she improved herself. He was just kind of the catalyst to do that. But for some reason, when it's the opposite, when it's a woman,
So you're gonna catalyst. So she's gonna reduce him to a catalyst. He was just kind of the catalyst. Like, you're not even giving him credit for helping her, like, better herself. You should have said he was the reason instead of trying to downplay, like, what his role in this was.
doing that for a man, somehow we see that as oppressive. I don't think that's oppressive at all. I think that's actually the complete opposite. She empowered herself, got what she wanted, but again, even if she didn't get that, she knew I still won because I improved myself greatly.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a guy, I need you to please reach out to me, because I literally need you to tell me, a man, I need you to tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Listening.
What I am expecting. I
don't know what you're expecting.
Between the ages of, I'm 46, so 36.
So she's 46, so she wants a man that's 10 years younger than her, or a man that's, 10 years older than her. So she expects this range. I'm just gonna say right out the bat, she's not gonna get a 36-year-old to look at her, for obvious reasons, for many reasons. The hair is kind of a problem as well. That's typically a dead giveaway that you are not like material that anybody wants, pretty much. But like the mere like idea that she could find a 36-year-old to be attracted in her is not very likely.
And 56. I'm looking for a man who has a job. I'm looking for a man that
a man with a job. A lot of men have jobs.
Less than 2 baby mamas.
See, 2 baby mamas. Like, he has already had like actual relationships, or like 2 babies or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, the older you get though, that becomes more difficult. So you're already setting a standard. You don't want to have a father in your life. You don't want somebody that's capable of fathering children, but but also he can't have children. That's what you're saying, basically.
I'm looking for a man who has a vehicle and a place to live. And at this point,
House
my
and a
God,
car.
I don't even care if you live with your mom.
Well, that's counter. That's paradoxical what you just said. You said he could have a house, but also he could live with his mom. And if he lives with his mom, I don't think necessarily he's gonna have a car. So this is not. Yeah, this doesn't fit up. Doesn't
I'm looking
match.
for a man who does not smoke, because
That's fair.
if you want to do that yourself, that's fine. But I am so allergic to it. Okay, but not cigars, but cigarettes. I'm looking for a man who is masculine. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about muscles. I'm literally talking about a man who understands that if he's interested in a woman, he connects with her and connects.
He connects with her because he's interested in a woman. I mean, most men will understand how that works. It's not brain science, whatever. It's brain science. That's a funny word. That's not really a normal thing to say, but whatever. Like what she's saying is basically some nonsense. Like
with her regularly, who understands masculine roles of
understands masculine roles. So now she's stereotype, like basically she's stereotypical, making blah, blah, blah. I can't talk here. Making he's basically trying to fit a man into a box that he has to fit into these rules now. Like she's saying, masculine means he needs to protect and provide.
protection and security and safety.
Protection and security and safety. That's kind of like three words for the same thing, and all of those could be like basically a handgun. But I mean, there's other types of. I know that when a woman says certain words, she means a different thing than like, you know, she means other things necessarily than she's really saying. So safety is like she expects him to provide an atmosphere where she feels safe. However, you do that. You know, protection. What like that could be a guard, it could be a gun, it could be a lot of other things. But like protection, it's just like she's not really being clear about what she wants. She's saying words, but those words doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like, how are you gonna protect her if you like? She doesn't want necessarily a man that's strong with muscles, but she wants him to be able to protect her. See, this is like that's a paradox again. Like, you can't necessarily, if you want a strong man to protect you, are you saying you just want a man that's financially strong that he can buy guards? I don't know what she's saying here, because like, what are you really saying with these words that you're saying? What does safety, protection, security mean? Security, I guess he means financial security, so he can live forever off of that money, because like that's kind of what she's implying maybe. But you know,
who understands masculine roles of
masculine roles. So you see, again, we're being stereotypes into a single thing that's how we should be in her eyes.
Affection. I need a man who's affectionate.
Every person on this planet, every man, male, is typically affectionate towards you. You just don't necessarily see it as affectionate because you don't understand what he does. What he does for you, like how he reacts to your things. You just don't understand it. But like most men are affectionate towards their partners.
I don't want somebody who is currently on parole.
Fair.
Or live in a halfway house.
I don't know about halfway house. Like what? I don't know. Like halfway house. Like if you're homeless or something. I don't know if that's like fair to say that you don't want that. Like I understand you don't want a straight up prisoner or criminal. I can see why you wouldn't want that. But I will say that there's some women that literally chose that. They wrote letters to criminals that were currently in prison and they were super into him. Like Bronson or any of those like crazy people like Dahmer, those people. Like they wrote to these people in jail because they were like super into them. I think that's just weird. You know, it's weird, but it does happen.
I don't care about your size or your.
And also, what do you define as a person that's unworthy of your love? Like, if he has a minor, like a speeding ticket or whatever, like where is the limit? Where do you define him to be unworthy of you?
Height, but I am very much attracted to black men with facial hair. I don't care if you have hair on top. So again, I'm wondering
He could be
what I keep
bald.
doing wrong. Because since November, I think I have gone on approximately 532 dates.
So that is an extremely high number, and I think if 532 men turned you down, then maybe you were doing something wrong. You know, maybe you should consider something else. Maybe you should consider dating women, because like men doesn't seem to want you, and that's an unfortunate thing to say, but it does seem that you are not really what they're looking for.
So again, if you are a man, please reach out to me and tell me what it is I'm doing wrong. Mind you, I don't really ever look like this, but I've had a very tough day.
No amount of makeup and or a better day would change your looks. You look the way you look, and it's not gonna change their opinion about you drastically if you are an unlikable person. If you are just that type of, like, just a very grating person to be around and not really a people person, not really a kind soul that treats people correctly, you know. If you're that kind of a person, no amount of dates will get you a husband. You just will not find it. Like, and you are unfortunately out of time.
Oh, they also have to like dogs because I have 2 dogs. Oh, and
I don't think I've met anybody that doesn't like dogs. I mean, I personally love dogs. As men do goes, I feel like there's an 80% likelihood that he will like dogs. I feel like there's very few people that do not like dogs, but you're already burdening him with, like, you know, responsibility and things he has to do. It's like one of those things, you have to like dogs. It's like another check mark on the list of things that he needs to be able to do. And it's just, I mean, most men like dogs, so I don't feel like that's unreasonable, but like at the same time, you're still requiring it.
they actually need to want to have a long-term relationship that could lead to marriage because
So
that's what I want.
so long-term relationship. So now we have to wait a extremely long period of time to even get to a marriage. You're 46 or whatever. Uh, so you expect to be married sometime when you're like 50, 60. I mean, come on, man. This is, unless you find someone that's willing to take on like an older woman, is that's not very likely, especially not when you're talking about like, I don't know, 36-year-olds.
I cannot have any more children. So if you want children, then I'm not the woman for you because I can't.
See, not having the option to have children, while that's not the game breaker for most men, it's like kind of a problem. Like if he wants his own heir, you've just shut that off. You just said that's impossible. And that's a lot of men that goes like, well, fuck, that's what I want. Like a lot of men goes like that. Some men are like, ah, whatever, I don't need an heir. But I will say that, like, for the people that are looking for a young, fertile wife, that's not you.
Have anymore. So again, if you are a man, explain to me where the masculine men are. If my expectations are too high, I need to know.
They're
Thanks.
pretty high, yeah.
All right.
And I just can't believe that I'm sitting here, and it has been several years. I think it was over a year that I had a date, and then it's been several years since then.
Mm-hmm.
You're 53.
Where are all the good men?
She's 53.
I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel
Yeah.
I want to feel.
Well, you know, you want all these things, but again, you're looking for like someone that's in your age bracket and is wanting this, and it's hard to find that person because that person could have already passed away, or like he's you know, he's already in a relationship.
Have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person?
So why is it so hard to find your person? And she's had more than 30 years to do so. I figure that she's not looking in the right places, she's not doing the right things, or her person doesn't exist. You know, she definitely has a problem.
So, this old lady has the gall to look straight into the camera and ask, where are all the good men?
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Where are they?
Good, nice men are everywhere, and oftentimes in your friend zone. I guarantee this woman 30 years ago, when she was in her prime, wasn't looking for a good man.
She was not looking for a good man.
Hightailed the feminist wave of riding the carousel, chasing Rich, Chad, and Tyrone, until now she's reaped what she sowed.
She's chased the wrong guys, the rich
now
boys.
This still beautiful, but because
really, I mean, if you're in her age group, maybe.
Women's market value is intimately tied to her youth, beauty, and fertility. I personally have no sympathy for this woman.
Yeah.
Neither should you.
Well, it's not even about sympathy. It's about saying, like, you had so many years to do this. You looked in the wrong places. You made the wrong choices. And the people that you had, you left them. If you had someone in your life before, you left them.
Accountability is kryptonite to women. Now, this is a warning to all women, especially millennial women who are almost turning 40, who are prolonging
before 40
and kids. Now, banks and investors have figured out what to invest in next, and what they found out is by 2030, more than half of women are going to be single and childless and cannot bear children. This article is called Rise of the Sheconomy. Fellas, understand something. Feminism isn't going anywhere.
Oh,
Women
it's going.
will never care to learn about men's imperative and our
Feminism is burning right now. And it's burning because it's unsustainable. It is an unsustainable fucking, like, ideology that is trying to corrupt women. And it is unsustainable. It is just as sustainable as Bitcoin, as fucking, like, tokens, as whatever, fucking, like like any scam that people try to sell you ever is basically drowning because it's just an unsustainable thing. So like fucking sociology, like Marxism, that kind of thing. It's like, it's unsustainable. It just is.
Biological dating strategies. So, here's what you do. I've done this a couple of years ago and still continue to. So, download and sign up for any investment app and buy shares of a company.
Don't do that. Pet foods and wineries, lots of wine. Yeah.
Because once I decided that I was going to be obedient and actually become abstinent and start healing and focusing on myself and God, I really thought that God was just going to drop me a good man off in my lap. I did.
That's not how it works.
You know, I've been praying, I've been doing all the different things that people was talking about doing, and I just knew that God was going to reward my obedience. And yes, this was...
Yeah, that's not how it works. Like, in life, you can't expect things to be given to you. You have to earn them. You have to look for them. You have to strive to get them. And they won't just happen even if you're like trying to approach that idea. They will not just happen. You cannot just manifest them with mojo jojo and mind juice. You have to actually look for that person, and you have to find that person, and then you have to make that person want to be with you. It's not that simple. He will not just walk through the door unless you're some kind of like weird coincidence where you're like in the same church or whatever. Ah, my God. I wish they would just wake the heck up.
In the early days of me being a dating coach, and I had to learn very early on that you must have faith, yes, but there also must be alignment. And with that comes movement. I always talk about being positively positioned. That includes your mindset first and foremost, because a lot of women don't take the time to evaluate and take inventory of their thoughts. If you have negative things that you often think or even speak when it comes to men today, dating today, love relationships, whatever, that is a seed that is being planted. So I had to make sure that I truly renewed my mind to believe, first of all, that there are good men out there. That
See, the fact that she's even like being like, oh, I have to unlock the ability to believe that there are good men out there, that is insane. That is actually, like, that's such an insane idea, that you believe that every man walking this planet is an evil incarnate person that's out there to just do you harm. The fact that you think that you need to unlock this is the very problem already. It's the fact that you already see men as rapists, as bad doers, as like negatives. You know, that is the issue in itself.
Good men do exist, and not only that, but that I would actually cross paths with one. Outside of that, it was going further with my faith.
Like, I gotta be real with you when I say, like, you are literally walking around in a world where good men walk around you every day. If they were not good men, you would have been in a world of hurt. You would have been in an absolutely unsustainable situation.
And not just believing, again, that God was just going to present them to me, but that I truly needed to position myself and be in places.
That doesn't mean you should be naive towards men and think that every man has your best intentions. But it also is not something where you should believe that every man has ill intentions.
And do the things that was necessary for me to connect with good men. First, I started with believing they existed. I had to then believe that I was worthy and deserving of one. Then I had to position myself. I had to get an alignment, and I actually had to take some movement, put some movement behind that faith, and actually have some action that coincided with that faith. Doing that is what actually led me to dating better, attracting a whole new breed of men, and that is how I ended up meeting my guy, the guy that fit my vision, the guy that I never thought I would actually be in a relationship with, my first real relationship.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is you already put it in your mind that you are bound to fail, so therefore you're gonna fail. Like, you're gonna put it, you're gonna basically set a goal that's so unobtainable that you will fail, and then you're not gonna feel bad for failing because you already thought you're gonna fail. Like, you might as well just immediately just give up. It's like, but if you try to reach for something, that doesn't mean you will get it. But if you try to reach for something, that means that you can at least try. You're at least trying something. Like, you will automatically fail if you give up at the beginning of the starting line. But if you cross that starting line and then you take the beatings along the way, you know, the wind in your face, the rain and whatever, and then at the end of it, you're going to reach the goal line. You know, if you believe, eventually that might happen. But it's not something that will happen just by belief itself, but belief will take you towards that goal. But I will say, I don't mean belief in the Christian theology here, like or in the Christian pantheon. I mean belief in yourself, believe in the idea that you're trying to, the positive idea that you're trying to spin, right? If it's within the realm of reality, if it's reasonable and you can desire it, then you can look for it, and then maybe you will find it. And you will feel really, really rewarded for doing so, because you're like, this is something I really wanted, you know?
Relationship, if I can be completely honest, my first healthy one, let's put it that way. And it felt amazing. And I can say that my love story actually came after helping other women. Hey, they say doctors make the worst patients, and even therapists have therapists. So your girl was out here spitting stuff, helping other women, but I had to get myself in alignment. And these are the things that I am now able to help different ladies with, and it is very rewarding knowing that I've been called by God to do this, but I get to help ladies heal. I get to
That's maybe a bit of a stretch.
Help them review their habits. I get to unpack the trauma from their households so that they are in a better position, so that they date better, that they can actually attract men.
But what you're basically saying is that they have a negative mindset, and they're expecting to go in with this negative mindset and like blurt this out onto men whenever they try and date, and then they expect the men to just take this abuse. No, that's not how it's gonna work.
They never even knew existed. Good men are out there. If you are saying differently, then that is already an issue. That is a mindset issue. So you have to renew your mind, remove all of those.
I agree that you definitely need to rethink that. Good men it's preposterous. There are good men everywhere. It's just because they're not like calling you on your phone that you say like, oh, these good men they're all gone.
And do what needs to be done. And if you're saying, hey, I kind of believe you, I need help unpacking this, I want to meet a good man and I want to do the work, then drop a comment or hop in my inbox. Let's do it.
Well, I think just going back to your point.
I mean, I feel like that's basically like she wants to earn money off of you. Basically, that's what this is. It's an ad for her to work. You know, like to work.
By the male population right now because they're all boys. Tell me why the other week the girls and I are. Can the street traffic not?
They're all boys. They're all boys. All of them boys. They're not men. They're boys. They're all of them boys.
Not like. Tell me why the other week the girls and I were at the bar and there's like this guy with his friend and like he was kind of cute, whatever, and he was like looking back over at us and we were like, okay, like is he gonna like do something? Homeboy goes and sits down at the bar and we're like, okay, whatever, like forget about it. And then we see he's like still just like sitting there alone, like what? And he would like look back at us and we were like, and it's like, what, baby?
Yeah.
Hey, baby, what?
Yeah, he's trying to get your attention, but you're sitting in your like femme squad that's like 5 girls just surrounding you with knives and hostile looks, and you're just, oh, I don't want to move up to the bar because that would require me to move my ass up to the bar to talk to this guy. If I'm interested in this guy, why would I go up there? That's preposterous.
You want me to buy you a drink? Like, what do you want? Like, but they literally just think like they're the prize or something. And honestly, it's because the girls
That's again like that situation is just clearly you refusing to separate from your femme squad, and just like, if you're interested in the guy, you think he's cute or whatever, like maybe there's something there, then you don't want to take the risk of walking about 5 paces up to the bar and being like, hey, what's up? Like, who are you, David? Like, hello, David. Like, do you want to buy me a drink? You know? You don't even want to do that. Like, no.
Making them feel that way. The big walking up to men and being like, hey, like, oh. Please stop approaching men. if they want you, they need to come up to you and get it.
They need to come up to your film squad with knives and hostile looks, staring you down. Like, it's the most intimidating thing ever. Like, that you're out there with the girls. You want to be in the protective bubble. But you saw a guy and you're like, nah, no, this guy, he cannot possibly. Like, you just walk up to him. Just be like, yo, what's up? Why are you staring at me? Do you wanna like dance? Whatever, like fucking do something. Do something about it. Instead of just sitting there like a princess on the throne and just refusing to move, like, you're just like refusing to engage with him. Like, that's literally on you. You chose to not engage with him. He sat in a neutral zone with nobody there. And like, he's not gonna attack you in a public bar. There's witnesses there. Like, you are in the most safest fucking possible place you could be. Like, if he's gonna attack you, it would be later, right? When he has you alone, which is the kind of scary, spooky aspect of that. But like, if you find him attractive, you talk to him, you find out that he's not a psycho, at least not, he doesn't seem like one, you can fucking engage with him, and then you can give him your number, or you can talk later. You don't even have to go home with him that night. You could just fucking chat with him, give him your number, and then you can chat more. Like, and then you don't have to even like engage with this whole like negative femme squad aspect. You can just say like, well, I don't know, maybe he's not for me. I don't know. We talked a little bit, and maybe I'll talk with him later, maybe if I feel like it. You don't have to say like, oh, he's so hot, like, oh man, I want to like, you don't have to risk him being snatched up by the other girls. You don't have to have them be like, know what you're doing, you know what I mean? You can just chill, just be cool, talk with him, and if he seems chill, he's got like your interest, like, you don't even need to really approach him. You're just walking up there to see. Like, it's just a matter of pride. Your pride is keeping you from engaging with men. Like, that's literally what's going on here. Like, you just don't want to walk up to him to like be like, hey, you want to buy me a drink? Hey man, you look kind of cool. Like, what's up with you?
Because the sassy man apocalypse and they're just princesses, and it's like,
no, you're the
ooh,
princess.
gender rules, boo. But at the same time, it's like inevitable.
My question is, where are the men? Okay, and I'm married. Okay,
we're everywhere.
My sister, y'all, is gorgeous. Two beautiful sisters, smart, educated, wants to be married. And the women in my church, our church is full of beautiful Christian saved women. And I'm not just saying beautiful as passing. I mean physically pretty and smart and educated, well-spoken. They don't have the attitude, I don't need no man. None of that is going on. These women want to be married. And I'm like, where are the men?
Well, maybe the men are not looking for a Christian woman. Maybe they're not looking for that. I mean, like, it would make sense if you're looking for a more balanced woman that's more like subservient and submissive to a guy. But I feel like most of the Christian women today are maybe not that. They're just, I mean, their appearance and their outward thing says that, but their private lives and their opinions, like, the black guys aren't even looking for the black women because they're like, nah, man, we don't want that kind of sass. We don't want it. So it's like, I think that it's maybe an attitude problem, and she's saying it's not. But also, if they're not looking for Christian women, that's a problem. That's an issue in itself.
And so, I'm going to talk about this more later, but where are the men at? Where are you?
Everywhere.
Okay, white girls, y'all chime in too. This I'm not just talking about black men. I mean men. Okay, good old country boys, the white boys with the dirty hands that they got the pants sagging because they fixing, under your sink or changing the oil in your car. Good old dirty white boys is just working hard at the feed store, working hard. My brothers that are working at McDonald's, Burger King, Brahms, KF, they're just working hard behind the counter, even some that are professional.
Sometimes working hard is not the best idea to do. Sometimes working smart is better. Or I should say always better. Work smart, not harder.
You know, my Hispanic brothers, where are y'all at? Are y'all at Home Depot? Are you hanging out at Walmart Supercenter? Where?
So like, I would say like Home Depot, like only, you know, people that are doing construction or finding things for their wives or whatever, building things at home, they're going there, but they don't look for women there. You know, they're there looking for supplies. You know, I mean, Walmart, they're looking for, you know, a fucking burger or whatever. They're not looking for a woman there necessarily. So those are not really good places to go. I mean, you could potentially do that, but you'd have to spot someone that's not actually married and is in that you know situation. Like that's the issue though. Like those places typically are filled with men that are very employed or very like has the riches to buy stuff, has you know, they have a life with a woman. Like he's walking in with a ring there and he can afford this stuff because they have two incomes, you know. It's not it's not that there's going to be a bunch of single men standing in a hardware store with a lot of money. It's like that's just unreasonable, really.
Yeah. My other sister, we were talking about, and she goes, well, maybe, women need to be taught how to do this and this. I said, it doesn't matter how the women need to be taught if once they're taught, the men are still not there. Okay?
The men are
You
there,
can teach
unfortunately for
how to be a
you.
great wife, how to be a great woman. But if there's no man there for you to practice your teaching on, it's still not going to work. So I said, wait a minute, this don't make no sense. Y'all, Sunday, I got so frustrated because our church is so full of physically pretty women who want to be married, who love God. Some are divorced, some have...
Now, see, if you love God more than you love your husband, then maybe that's an issue. Like, if you love another thing that's not even like a physical thing in this universe, can't you even have space for love for a man? That's an issue. I think that's an issue. I think that maybe is the deal breaker sometimes. Like if you are that invested in God and you're that fanatical, ideal, like you're very ideal theologian, and you just only want to do things that way, it can become a stress on a relationship. I'm not saying you have to like go full 180 and become a pagan on the streets, but like, you know, maybe you could find a middle way to relax your relationship a little bit with God and then become a more balanced person. You know, it's okay to have faith if that's what you really want, but I think you also need to balance it with like how much like your life, how you live your life. You need to be more flexible maybe in terms of faith.
never been married and want to be married. They don't have this attitude, like I told you, I don't need no man. Y'all, we don't even have that going on. They want a good Christian man that loves God and that will love them. They don't even have to make all this money and all this stuff. So my men, if y'all are still thinking that most women just want you with six figures, you got to be this tall to have, y'all, brothers, this is white, black, Hispanic, Chinese, whatever your race is, a lot of women, y'all, don't even care about that no more. They don't care about that.
Nah, I'm seeing the opposite in a lot of these videos.
They want you to love God and love them. You don't have to be even, look like Brad Pitt or my baby daddy.
I mean, Brad Pitt is that's a very high standard to set. It's like basically voted one of the sexiest men on this planet. So yeah, that's a pretty high standard.
I was hoping Idris Elba. Now, I'm married, so don't tell my husband I said that, okay? But anyway, or Morris Chestnut. Now, that's what I would have chosen, But he don't have to look like that. Just a good old country, or if you're up in the upper states, just a good man that loves God and loves you. If you get kids, one that loves your kids, that are trustworthy. I don't care if the man just got out of prison, if he's learned his lesson, and
See, the woman earlier said like, oh, prison is a deal breaker. This woman is saying like prison is not a deal breaker. And I'm willing to say that it's somewhere in between, because like I think that some like has learned their lesson, they did something stupid, and they're not falling back into the criminal ways, you know what I mean? That's fine. They did something stupid in their youth, they were dumb, they did some stupid shit with their friends. They maybe robbed a liquor store or something like that or whatever. And they were like, fuck, man, we really fucked up. We fucked up. I spent the last 5 to 10 years knowing that I fucked up. I just want to get out of here and have a normal life, right? Like, or whatever it is. But I think there's a middle way there where you could be like, okay, so you fucked up, but you learn from your mistake. But the people that truly do not learn from the mistake, those are the ones that you want to stay away from.
Some things he's not proud of that has completely been changed by the power and the message of God. So men, I want to know, where are you at? I need y'all to show up, because there are some beautiful single saved women that are needing you, that are looking for you, waiting to be found. I don't know where y'all are, but it show up.
We're everywhere.
Show up, say, hey,
You
I'm
just
here.
gotta look for
I'm
us.
single. I love God. If you've been looking for a beautiful saved woman, even if y'all, it could be in a different state. I don't know how people are meeting people, because I've been married for so long. I don't even know how people meet anymore. But
Yeah,
online.
they don't.
But
that's the problem. They don't actually. They don't. Like, you're not in touch with this. People do not actually meet anymore. They start conversations on chats and stuff, and then like and then they're like, oh, I'm so scared to go meet this person, and they show up, and it could be a different person or a different gender, or like it's a mess, man. But like the boundary of trust has been broken, and it's just not fixable. So like we have to go out of our way to make it better.
you got to have the single men who want to find a good woman, and the single women who need to find a good man. Y'all got to connect. Y'all got to connect some way. Y'all got to, I don't know how. If you got an answer, let me know. But
It's pretty simple. You engage people where they are, you know. Like, you have to, but you can't bother them in places where they're on, like, in the hours when they're working. You can't bother them that much. You have to, like, at the max, you could go to a guy that's already working and give him like your phone number. You know what I mean? You can't fucking like have them be like, oh, I gotta date you now. I gotta like have a long conversation with you. Like, I gotta have a coffee with you. You can't do that if you're at work. You gotta find them in the hours where they're off work. And unfortunately, when they're off work, they don't go out anymore. Really, not like most men don't. So like you would have to find a way to create a forum online where you find like similar minded people that want to date women, that want to find a partner. Like that's really where you would have to do. You'd have to create a forum that works for both people. And unfortunately, every time that is created, it's either it turns out to be a meat grinder, or it turns out to be just not a. It's more of a money scam than an actual place where people want to meet each other. Like it's not a sincere, realistic way to meet each other. And then, are men gonna be there? That's another aspect. If they're not in there, then how are you even gonna approach them? So yeah, there's a big divide that men don't go out there physically to try and look for women, because unless they know that that place has the woman they're looking for, they're not gonna move from A to B. They're gonna be at home eating their steak, drinking their beer, smoking their cigars, watching sports after dinner or after work. You know, they're not gonna be out there looking for you unless they really are trying to. Like, there are some men that do that. They go out of their way to try and go out there, but then they get ridiculed and shut down and like disappointed, and they go back to being a hermit, secluded guy. You have to realize that men are essentially just fucking cavemen. Like, we like dark, dank places, and that's specifically our own place of dwelling. So we will seclude to there and be like, I'm not going out there to hunt for food. I'm not going out there to kill some animals. So I'm gonna sit in my cave and eat my food that I've hunted in the store, with my money that I earned from my job. You know, I'm gonna be in my cave. So if, unfortunately, you are gonna have to seek the men out. That's kind of what really is happening right now. You are outside in the wilderness going ooga booga, and the men are sitting in there going ooga booga at their fireplaces. So like, in order for you to go ooga booga together, you gotta move to their dwelling. You gotta be some kind of you gotta seek them out. That's unfortunately what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to talk to other people, talk to communities, see where there's some men available, and then you're gonna be like, well, this guy's kind of cute. Go talk to him. You know, you cannot expect this attitude of like, where are they hiding? They're not hiding. They're just being themselves. They're being truthful to what they really are. Like this is, I guess it's caveman nature. It just is what people are like.
Married woman, but it bothers me because I'm surrounded by so many good single women who want to be married. And I'm like, what is going on here? I got family members, educated, beautiful women that want to be married, and I don't know where the men are. So, hey, if y'all know, let me know. Because single men and single women, come on, divorced.
We be sitting in front of our PS5s having a good time, you know. And that's unfortunately not what you consider constructive, like, behavior. And it really puts us very far away from your reach. So if you are looking for men, a lot of them that are like that, like they are not where you want them to be. They're not in the bars anymore. Now, some are, but not all of them. And the really ones that you really want are just living their lives, you know, or they're already in a relationship.
Whenever you've been married, whatever your situation is, y'all got to link up. Y'all got to connect some way.
For the men, I seriously need to know where they're at. That when you say, hey babe, this on my car isn't working, and they say, all right mama, let me go check it, or I'll check it tomorrow morning, and they do it. Or
they will do that in a relationship if you are in a relationship with them, and they have the capability to do so. Not every man is born a mechanic. Like some men are terrible at these like skills, but they make up for that in other ways. Typically, they will have a job where they earn more money than that, or they would have, you know, other skills where they could do, or they could pay for it, or, you know, like men will not always be a mechanic. It's not a very given thing. You can't just expect. Unfortunately, most men were raised in a way that they have no practical skills anymore. Like I wasn't even raised in a way that like I have like extreme practical skills, but I was a different kind of kid. I was a smart kid, you know. I was the kind of kid that would just, you know, do academics, but like these kinds of things, it's different. Like it's different now. Like a lot of kids are the same as me now, as opposed to the kids that grew up with their father, like being a mechanic, working in the workshop. He had a workshop at home. He was always working on cars. Then he taught his kid these skills. Like you learn those skills when you grow up. But if you have single parent mothers now, and they're not going to teach their kid jack shit. They're not going to teach them how to like fix an engine because they don't know how to. So like it just is this frustrating situation where a lot of men were raised by single parents, and that single parent was usually a mother, and then mother taught them female skills, taught them like all kinds of things you would want in a sensitive, like emotional man, but they didn't teach him life skills that are important if you're on the road, or like they didn't teach him all those kinds of things, you know. It's just that's just the issue, is you can't expect men to be what you want when you change them to be the other thing.
I'm working. Hey babe, I have a question about this. And they just genuinely take care of you. That's what I need. Or like if you need something financial, supportive, emotional, they're just there.
You're not setting like small demands here, financial, emotional, everything. Like you just need to be all of those things. But sure, I mean, some men can fit those requirements, but again, you're setting up some standards here that you need us to fit into.
Where are they at? Because I swear this generation is so different. It's so weird. It's so like...
Well, what would you know? Because you don't know jack shit about the other generations. So first of all, you don't know what they were like. You've just been told what they were like, or you've seen what your father was like. But that doesn't mean that every man is like that. It doesn't mean that every, like, generation is like that. Like these today, we have more sensitive, emotional men, and that's what you wanted. But at the same time, now you're saying that's not what you want.
I feel like too many men want to be the princess of the relationship. They want to be spoiled.
Why shouldn't we be allowed to be spoiled? You're allowed to be spoiled. Why shouldn't we be allowed to be spoiled? What is wrong with a bit of give and take? You can't in is it not possible at all for you to even think of the possibility that doing something nice to your husband, if you have a husband, which you're never going to get probably, but if you have a husband, that you would expect to treat him nicely, that is not that far from the reality, like of a thing that should happen, right? Like if you treat him correctly, he will treat you correctly. It's not just about happy wife, happy life. It's about happy people, happy sheeple. I don't know. There's no fucking rhyme for that. I don't know. I'm saying basically both of you being happy is really what you should be shooting for. It's not just your happiness. That is very egocentrical.
They want to be the spoiled one. They want to be the one that's taken care of. And like, don't get me wrong. I understand traditional values. I really do. And I value that
I really understand them, but I don't want to do them.
a lot. But like, to me, if I'm cooking, I feel like you should help wash the dishes, or at least offer. Or
Yeah. So I want to just cook and leave you the mess.
I don't mind cleaning up the house. But or pick
Watch that again. She's like, wow, totally lies. Like, absolutely. She's like, she immediately does something that tells me she's lying.
picking up your drawers. I don't mind doing that.
Mm.
But you got to do a little bit more than just sit in the house and complain, you know? I feel like in my last relationship, like, I don't mind cooking, I don't mind cleaning, I don't mind washing your clothes, folding it, and putting it away for you. I genuinely work in the mindset of, if I'm with somebody or while I'm dating somebody, I want to try to make their life as easy as possible, right?
That sounds good.
If
Yeah, that's what you should strive for, because that means that the person in that relationship will appreciate what you're doing for them, unless they're a dickhead. Like if you're trying to make their life easier, then they will be like, "Oh my God, that's really nice. I feel really appreciated in this relationship." But at the same time, you got to be careful, because it also opens the door for them to step on you and treat you like you're basically just a disposable asset or whatever. But I feel like, yeah, you should really try to, in a relationship that's not toxic and is not like, you shouldn't always be at the beck and call, because that just makes you into like a slave basically. But at the same time, if you really value your partner, doing really nice things for him, it's really cool, because he feels like appreciated and loved, and like, that kind of thing. So that is really an admirable aspect, if she really truly believes that she wants to treat her husband as like an asset, and as a partner, and as a lover, and all that stuff. Like, she wants to be generous with him, and that's good.
Personally, I work from home. So because I work from home, I have a perk. So like, if I was at my ex-boyfriend's house, I would sit there, and since I'm working from home, I would wash his clothes. I would make sure all the clothes were washed. I would make sure the dishes were washed. I would prepare like dinner. And I genuinely don't mind doing that stuff. And granted, he was a great financial provider. Like, if I needed something per se, within reason, he would try to get it to me, or give it to me, whatever it may be. But outside of that, like, he never washed the dishes. Like, he maybe washed the dishes once, maybe 3 times total in the 2 years that we're together.
See, that's kind of like, in 2 years you wash the dishes 3 times. That's kind of like, yeah, that's a little shitty, but like, what else did he do? Like, he's constantly working 80 hours a day, or whatever, that like 80 hours a week. Like, basically, not 80 hours a day, that's a bit impossible, but like, basically, you know, if he's just fucking constantly working, he's always stressing, he comes home, he does not want to wash the dishes. Like, like you expect the CEO to walk in from his workplace and just be like, oh, now I'm gonna like do your tasks here at home too. Like what? No, that's crazy. That's crazy. But like, of course, I like saying these are all your tasks is also not fair. But like saying that he needs to wash the dishes if he's the CEO is a bit much, man. Like, it's like, yeah, I mean, he's bringing the substantial bulk of the wealth into the family, and you're at home. You could wash the dishes, like that is it's kind of reasonable to expect that like if you dirtied them, sure, it's like half and half. You could say like you could wash half the dishes, but that's stupid. Like, it's if you're at home and the dishes are sitting there and you're ignoring them, then you're basically just ignoring them because you can. And it's like, then you wait for him to walk in the door so you can be mad at him not wanting to do the dishes. That you see this situation, that's kind of like, nah, man. Like, he expects that if he has a high value man would expect that you do this stuff, because he just doesn't have the energy or doesn't have the time. And when he comes home, he just wants to have a clean house and clean home, and like and then instead of like arguing with you about dishes, he can have, you know, he can appreciate what you did by having affection with you, right? Having an intimate moment with you, sitting down in a clean house that smells nice, and you smell nice, and you sit down and you both take a glass of wine, and then he can say like, "How's your day?" or whatever. You know, like it's that kind of thing where he can have something special with you when he comes home after working hard. That is one of those things. He just wants that, right? He just wants that atmosphere of being appreciated and wanted and loved. And I know it's hard to just expect like like you're also working, and like then you also have to clean and all these things, and it's like, I know it's hard on women, but what you get out of that is you get to be so appreciated, you know, because it's, well, I mean, unless he's an asshole again, there's a caveat there. If he's an asshole, he doesn't appreciate what you do, then that's what it is. But you know, if he's a normal human being, he's a nice guy, he comes home, he sees like, oh my god, my house is beautiful, I love you, wife, you know, that kind of thing.
He maybe like once or twice was like, what do you want to do? Let's go do what you want to do. It just, there was a lot of give and take, but not enough, I guess, that I was taking.
Because you want
I don't know,
more.
I just come from the mindset that like, hey, I'm trying to make your life easier. And yeah, it is, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not your mother. I don't want to be your mom.
It's not about,
That's not my role.
yeah, it's not about being a mother. Well, it is. If you have kids, then you have to be a mother, actually, technically. But not his mother. You know, that's not it. But again, like you are underselling what he's doing for you, and you're like overselling what you're doing for him. So like, it's, yes, like while there should be some give and take, yeah, there should be. But that doesn't mean that you should expect him to take what is traditionally your roles in the house just because you want to have an easier life. You want to just have a carefree life.
In any relationship, like, I don't want that's too much responsibility. I don't want to be your mother, because essentially that's what I become. And I don't want to nag. I'm not a nagger.
And also, like, what she's saying is essentially she doesn't want to be a mother. Then how does she expect, like, what has she seen her mother do? And then she expects to not do the same thing. Like, her own mother, what did her own mother do in the house? She's like, I don't want to do that. But that's exactly what's required of a healthy relationship with two people, more or less. And she's like, I don't want to be that. I want to do that. I just want to be here and be myself. I want to be you, essentially. I want to be a man. But that's not how it works. You're not the man, so therefore you shouldn't have that perspective. You know, you shouldn't want to be a man either, because then that means that you go to work, you be the leader, you make all the money. But then you have to have a man that should fit into those feminine values, and it's like that just doesn't work with most men. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. We're not built that way. Our mindset is not built that way. You were taught these values when you grew up. Like, you were taught all the feminine values, but now you reject them.
A complainer. Like, he would come over my house on the days he had off, and those happened to be my busier days. And you would think he would say, hey babe, do you want me to make you lunch? Since you're here, since, you know, I'm here, do you want lunch? Do you want me to go get lunch for you? Knowing that 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna make dinner. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. But then I had like the audacity to like complain about certain things. Like, there was one weekend that I was super swamped with like work, and then I didn't have like one day off. I only had one day off that week, and I spent it with my best friend's daughter, taking care of her because she was sick, and they had some things to do with the older child. And
fair enough.
You know, I didn't have time to, mind you, she's like 8, so she's young, and she's very like, she likes to be around me. She likes to, you know, she's a kid, so she likes the attention. So
but also I will stress that now you're basically spending time outside of the relationship because you feel like doing that, and that's not necessarily what is the best intention for both of you. I mean, you took that on because it's your friend or whatever, but like, realistically, if something was really important and you just chose to do this instead, is like, sometimes you just gotta say no. Sometimes if you don't have the time, you gotta say no. But I understand that it's a friend of yours and it's like a situation or whatever, and then like, you're just in a pressed situation. You don't have enough time and you don't have enough resources.
I really don't mind. So I dedicated that day to her, which is absolutely okay. And I didn't
Is it okay? Because you just made that decision. You didn't, from what I'm saying, or from what I'm not saying, from what I'm understanding, is that you made that decision on your own. Like, you don't feel like you need to ask him anything. Like, you just made that decision. And if there's something super important, then you're screwing that over just because you decided that you could take a go do whatever that day. It's like, I feel like it's, sometimes you just gotta say no. And like, if it is because you can't get out of this, then maybe you have to do it, and then just stuff happens and nothing gets done or whatever. But like, basically, essentially what you're saying is you just took the choice to do this, dedicated an entire day to this.
I didn't clean up the way I normally do, or like, you know, fix stuff the way I normally do.
Yeah.
And he came in, this was a week that he was supposed to stay with me, and he was like, oh my God, this place is a mess. And mind you, it wasn't like dirty, like I don't leave food out anywhere. Maybe there was clothes or, you know, stuff like that, but nothing crazy. And I tend to,
he has high standards.
My drop point for a lot of things is my kitchen island. So I would just, you know, come in. I was coming in and dropping, and like, when I'm working, I sometimes on Mondays especially, we don't get a longer break because we're so busy. So I have to so when I'm there, like, it's not like, so I literally talk to patients all day. So I literally have to go back and forth fairly quickly. But like if I'm snacking on something, or if I'm getting water, or if I'm doing this, so sometimes I have to run, grab, and go. Run, grab, and go.
Run, grab, and go.
And he sat there, came into the house, didn't say anything to me, just gave me a package that I had outside. Sat down, laid down on the couch, and was like...
This is a very long-winded story.
Just stood there on his phone, playing a game, right? Watching TV. I'm in my office.
Yep.
I tell him, like, he knows Mondays are stressful. They're my most stressful day. He's aware. So it's like lunchtime. I'm like, hey, are you hungry? He's like, no. I come out of the room for like a second, and I go to cuddle with him because I was like, I wanted to cuddle. And I come, and literally I look at him, and the first thing out his mouth is, this place is a mess. Not hi, baby. Not I miss you. Not how's your day going. Not how I love, nothing. The first thing out of his mouth, knowing everything I went through the weekend, is this place is a mess.
Right. So it's a little bit unfortunate, or a little bit unfeeling there, but...
So, mind you, for weeks I've been telling him, hey, my windshield wipers don't work. Can you go check?
But again, that's from like one perspective. Is like, this is just a one perspective thing. You're not hearing why he was mad at that. You're not hearing like, okay, maybe he's had a really bad day at the office. He walks in and he's like, this place is a mess, what the heck? And like, maybe he was just already like defeated in some way, and he's like, he just wanted to come home to like a beautiful house and that kind of thing. And I know it's hurtful because you've been working and that kind of stuff. I understand that that's what's going on there. It's hurtful, and you just want him to be more feeling in that moment, and maybe he had a bad day,
On them? Can you go take them to go get checked? Hey, my tire's this. Can you go get that checked? Hey, can you plan a day where we can look at this? Hey, will you plan a day? Or one of the things I love to do is go out and drive around different cities, different suburbs in Illinois, and look at houses. Like, I love looking at bigger houses. Like, it inspires me. And that the next time he came around, I asked him, I said, oh, can we go do this? And he's like, sure. And so I'm excited. I'm getting ready. I'm like, all right, as soon as my job is done, we're going to see this. It's going to be fun. And it's something I really wanted to do with him because I've been talking to him about it for a long time. It's something I enjoy.
Yeah. And what, he said no?
And I said, don't worry about it. I'll drive. Like, we have no worries. He would, like, literally maybe not even 30 minutes after, he's like, I'm actually going to go home. He's like, because I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, well, yeah, but we planned on going to do this. And he was like, well, I know, but I want to go home.
So what he's communicating to you is that he's not having a good time here, and that he wants to go home. That's a very simple communication here. He's just not feeling it. He's not vibing. He's not in his ace. He's not centered. He's just feeling like this is the most boring, most uninteresting thing ever. And he's communicating to you, hey, girl, woman of my love of my life, I want to leave.
I'm just going to go home because I'm not doing anything over here. I said, okay, are you going to come back to go? And he was like, no. So I'm like, okay. So where are the men that we don't have to, like, repeat things for? Like, windshield wipers? Come on now. It's a safety thing. Windshield wipers, guys?
I'm not even sure what she's talking about here, but She's like, oh, windshield wipers. I can't pick this up for myself. I am incapable of doing this.
Because I don't like the attention. So where are they at? Where are they at? Because obviously they're not here. Either that or I'm looking in the wrong places. Where do I go?
Maybe you're looking in the wrong places, yeah. And also maybe you're expecting something, like you're giving different signals about what you want. You want either a strong, independent man, or you want you're clearly talking about a strong, independent man. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, their wills are not gonna bend to yours if you're talking about strong, independent men. If you're talking about more emotional, soft men, they will easily bend typically, and they will gladly do things for you. But they won't be what you want because you want a strong, masculine man. So you're stuck in a hard place. You just don't, between a rock and a hard place, and you don't know what you really want. Like, so you're wanting one thing, and then you're complaining when you have it. Because you know that this is the kind of, like, partner dynamic that she's going to be finding every time. It's like, if you find a strong, very strong-minded man, he will want things his way. And that's just unfortunately the case, and you won't get much of a say. But it's really up to you what you're looking for. But you can't expect to change men to what you want, and you can't just say, "Hey, this is what I want every time." You can't just demand that and say that's what. Like, you can't say, because I can't get that, then men are flawed. Like, that's not how it works. Like, again, we could say that, but if you say that, then it should be equally okay for us to say women are flawed too. So it's not this is like attitude of, like, I can't get what I want, therefore I need to complain about it. It's like, where did they go? Do they not exist anymore? What is men? Therefore I am. It's you know, you need to fucking maybe change your expectations.
Please tell me where do I go. Because I'm so not like a social dater. I'm so not a social dater. So let me know.
See, yeah, that's a problem then. Because if you're not a social dater, you should probably look for places where there are where there are people you can interact with that's on your same level.
In the comments where they're at. Because your girl is looking. Your girl is looking.
Your girl is, yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. It's like, if you like what you've heard or seen, come back for some other stuff, subscribe and hit the like button. I've been StealthMoustache, and I think women need to sometimes think about what is their role and what isn't their role. And what are men, because, like, men to them is just whatever they want. You can't expect a person to change into a mold, but you can expect the person that when you try to change them and fit them into that mold, that they're going to complain about what is going on. Like, if you dated a man that expects just absolute flawless home and a pristine area, you should expect him to be, like, a little bit spiffy when a little bit spicy when he sees that the house is not clean. That's what he expects. That's what he wants from you. And when you're not fitting into that, then you were not fitting into what that man expected that you were. Then I understand that this is a dilemma, because, like, she didn't have the time. But this isn't a separate or, like, what singular event. This is, like, throughout your entire relationship, this has been an issue. So if you're finding a man that expects this of you, and you then later on, you're like, oh, I know he expects this of me, but, like, he shouldn't. But, like, he's always expected it of you, and then therefore you end up in that situation where he leaves you. And you had a guy that was clearly a breadwinner, apparently. Like, and you just let him slide because you were upset that he just doesn't treat you the way you want him to treat you. But like, you can't always pick, you can't always choose. Some people have much worse fates than that. Like household domestic abuse, like alcoholism, like drug use, like straight up physical abuse. I think I don't want to get too deep here, and this video is already long, but I will say that like, you got to like lower your expectations and meet your own expectations of what the relationship is. You know, if you made this accord with him, and you're in a relationship where like both of you know what you expect from each other, and then you don't live up to it, then you kind of didn't fulfill the contract that you both signed, like verbally. You know, it's just be the person every day that you think you need to be. I've been StealthMoustache, and peace.